r/AskReddit. Gamers of Reddit. What video game made you emotional? Final Fantasy VII Aerith's death scene. Telltale's The Walking Dead. Twice end of season 1 and 2. But most of all, had to be me. Someone else might have gotten it wrong. 3. I'm the very model of a scientist Solarian. Sobs. His shaky voice singing to calm himself gets me every single time. The first time I was ever emotionally affected by a video game was The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. I was about 14. Massive spoilers for a 20-year-old game follow. But you awake on an island with all sorts of interesting personalities, including families, parents, children, and a girl named Merrin. As you play the game, you realize that there's an entity called the windfish that sleeps in an egg. If you want to leave the island, you have to wake up the windfish. The problem is that the entire island is his dream, and when you awake the windfish, the island will vanish. I was sitting church one day when I suddenly realized the ramifications of your quest. In order to escape, everyone on the island has to basically die. I didn't want everyone to die, and almost quit the game right there so that everyone could keep on living. Man. Link and Merrin were meant to be together. The scene on the beach was probably the first time in my life that I genuinely started getting into a romance angle on a work of fiction. But alas, they could never be together. Fate is cruel. If you finish the game with no deaths, she becomes a seagull in the waking world. Also, who said the windfish is a guy? Merrin's in its dream. Maybe she's the viewpoint character of the windfish. Link X Windfish. My new blubbery OTP. Bioshock hit me pretty hard. Harvesting the girls to become much stronger or to save them and become a little more stronger. The ending made a difference as well. I saved all of the girls on my playthrough and it was tough, but I truly enjoyed it. Also, the idea of a utopia turned into a dystopia. Freedom from religion, politics and government made it into a damn fine game, and seeing what people did during the come up and downfall was pretty interesting. The ending made me change my mind about adoption. Holy duck. I thought you said abortion at first. This war of mine. You're not a superhero. You're just trying to survive in a war zone. I came on here to comment about that game. The part that really got me is when you go to this home and find an old couple living there. So, of course, you decide to take supplies because they're too old to fight back. All they do is follow you around begging you to stop. I did this and then went back to their home a few days later. Both of them were dead. I felt like a huge piece of hit. I went to a house with an older couple and their son. Saw that they had a lot of good stuff, so I came back with a character who'd feel less guilty murdering them and killed the son and dad. I looted as much as I could and was feeling pretty accomplished. But on my way out I found the mother sobbing over the body of her husband. She made no attempt to fight me, so I stepped over her and headed out. I felt so guilty about doing that I restarted the game before it could save and never went back there again. The game really makes you think about what you're willing to do for your own survival. Halo Reach. All the characters you begin to love throughout the campaign start dying one by one until you are the last one left. Then you die. Edit. Holy hit, thank you guys, and thanks for the gold. I'm glad so many people enjoyed the story as much as I did, as it still is my favorite game. Tell them to make it count. George. Where does he get off calling a demolition op priority 1? Cat. You're on your own. Noble. Carter out. Carter. I'm ready. How about you? Jun. Am I on the gun? Negative. I have the gun. Good luck, sir. Noble 6. Why I scrolled to find this and make myself sad. I don't know. Quick correction, Emil said I'm ready. How about you? Jun says I'll do what's necessary, sir. Good luck. We never see him die though. Halo 3. That game was some of the best times in my life. Between Halo 2 and 3 I would not be surprised if I logged close to a year's worth of real hours playing them. According to my page on Bungie, I first played online December 31st, 2004 and last played August 8th, 2010. My social life in middle and high school was Halo and all the people I met online. It was pretty great. That's exactly how I am. All of middle school and the beginning of high school, Halo was everything for me. The game brought me the spectacular places. I still play Halo 3 every now and again cause Master Chief Collection just doesn't do it for me unless I just want core Halo gameplay, but just menus of regular Halo 3 is just tear inducing. Gears of War 2. Dom's wife. Also when you break Ty out and think hell yeah we found Ty. Time to duck these grubs up now and toss him the shotgun and then, well you know, edit it for spelling/grammar. That traumatized me when I was a teen. Ty's personality was also so strong and dependable. He was inviolable. They tortured him so badly that he felt he had to kill himself. Duck that stuck with me. Had to be me. Someone else might have gotten it wrong. Edit, a word. Does this unit have a soul? Yes. Yes you do, Legion. If you have an Amazon Echo, you can ask Alexa if this unit has a soul. She responds. Kilasale. My friend. Infamous 2. Whether you go the good way or the evil one, the ending just hits you right in the heart. Ducking Zeke. He know he can't stop you, but goddammit he tries anyway. I'll let him kill me the first time. Life is Strange. If you haven't played it yet because you think it's just some stupid teeny drama, you really missed out. I think everyone should experience this game at least once. Bay. I still have a hard time getting over the fact that the endings were never truly completed. Who knows, maybe one day we'll know what was supposed to really happen. PS. Also duck the bay. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Darkness/Time/Sky. The way it shows the partner's grieving process is really wonderful too. I did not expect it in a game marketed towards children. And Grovile's big quote was great. The important thing is not how long you live. It's what you accomplish with your life. While I live, I want to shine. I want to prove that I exist. If I could do something really important, that would definitely carry on into the future. Yeah right. The story was absolutely mind-blowing. It had everything, good guys turning bad and vice versa. Huge plot twists and this unbelievably sad ending. It would have been even better if they hadn't chosen the NPCs so cliche. Even though the game itself was dull and unappealing in retrospective, the story makes me come back once in a while. The first Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. First game I ever cried. I never expected the wave of emotion in the last scenes. It hit you like a truck. The part in Shadow of the Colossus, where aggro throws you to safety and then falls. I had many heated debates with my ex over who was the best game horse. She was wrong and said it was Epona. Aggro for the win. Epona was just a vehicle, but aggro had a soul, goddammit. Titanfall 2. Trust me. Edit. I'm glad to see you guys enjoyed the game as much as I did. I came in expecting to make friends with a robot. Was not disappointed. Titanfall 2 ranks near Halo as an FPS campaign I don't mind playing again and again. Right. The Frontier Defense is way more fun than I thought it would be as well. I'm kinda sad I waited until this year to play it. Mass Effect 3. Hands down. That game was an emotional roller coaster. Had to be me. Someone else might have gotten it wrong. I know this line is the most memorable because of how he often repeats it. But for me, when you question why he is willing to risk so much to undo a thing that he always talked about with so much pride and confidence, and for the first time I can recall, he actually yells at you, "I made a mistake." That line, perfectly contradicting his most famous one and his entire personality. To me, it shows just how broken he became after the loyalty mission in 2 and him treating even 3. Final Fantasy X. Such a beautiful story with such a bittersweet ending. My vote's here. Listening to Tazunakand and the Hymn of the Faith is enough to dampen my eyes. Every time I hear either of those it makes me weep. And Yuna's speech at the end. Ori and the Blind Forest. And that music, oh boy. BioShock Infinite. Every fresh new shooter always has that feeling of oh hit. What's that? Look over there. When you first start, but eventually you get the formulas and enemy patterns down and it just becomes the next game you're playing. BioShock Infinite is one of the only first-person shooters I can remember that never lost that feeling and fought strong the whole storyline. The last third of the game is on the verge of becoming a mess, but the ending itself makes up for it. Brilliant visuals and a very nice concept and a very emotional last scene. Kingdom Hearts. Hands down. I'm surprised this isn't near the top. Incredible game. And to think I almost avoided playing the game because I thought it looked too kiddie. I thought it was goofy. Doki Doki Literature Club. Went in thinking it was some weeboo bullshit. Left feeling depressed as hell for a week at least. On the bright side, I've written more poetry in the last couple weeks than I did my whole life, so that's cool. Spoiler. What's really scary is how accurately the game depicts depression through Sayori. Forgetting things. Sleeping for long. Lack of motivation. Not wanting to burden others with your feelings. Etc. And you can't save her. No matter how hard you try. I learned a lot from my brief time with the game. I learned that I needed to find help and talk to people instead of keeping it in before it was too late. I sought out a therapist. I talked to my mom about how I felt. I talked to my girlfriend. And my friends. The amount of support I got was overwhelming. What I guess I'm trying to say is, don't keep in. Please talk to someone. If you're reading this and feel like I did, please. I beg you. If you have no one, talk to me. Duck, I'm about to cry at work, lol. Play Doki Doki Rain Clouds. It goes into it more. I did love it, but it was a powerful experience for others. Honest Hearts expansion for Fallout, New Vegas. There's a series of journal entries left behind by this dude, chronicling what happened to his first and then second family after the bombs fell. Just heartbreaking. I have always tried to do the peaceful ending where the dead horses flee Zion Valley. But after reading his journal entries I just can't. I crush the white legs every time. Doom. Pumped up counts as an emotion, right? Doom is my go-to after a stressful workday. You can't spell catharsis without RIP. And tear. The last scene of The Last of Us. The beginning is sad, but I was able to hold in the tears. However, the last scene broke my defenses and I couldn't help but bawl. For me it was the fight between Ellie and David. Cross-cutting to Joel running to the rescue. Everything about it was overwhelming. The tension. The music. The climax. I normally played the game quite stealthily, hoarding resources. But in Joel's scenes I killed every Methodica I came across like an angel of death. I had to put the game off for a while after that. And I was crying. One of the best gaming experiences I've ever had. One of the most upsetting scenes for me takes place in the abandoned Swear settlement. There is a little room. I think you need a shiv to open it. And inside you find a dead guy with a note saying how they were trapped and he wouldn't let the kids be torn apart. That's when I noticed the little shoes poking out from under a sheet and the words "I swear they didn't suffer" written on the floor. That was so utterly grim. Dark Souls. Failing to save Solaire. Rest in peace my son, bruh. I was going to say Dark Souls as well. It taught me the important lesson that no matter what you do, you're dimmed. There's a lot of heaviness/depth to a lot of the characters you encounter. Plus, the Sif fight. Especially if you save him first. It's bad enough to have to battle a canine in any game as a dog lover. But to have it recognize you as a former companion, Hufawi. Prepare to cry. Man, that was brutal. Saving Sif as a puppy in the DLC was interesting enough since his owner, Artorias, was corrupted. It's bad enough you have to fight Artorias too. Fighting the grown Sif after saving him was a tough pill to swallow. Sif actually hesitates attacking you at first and sniffs you out before reluctantly getting his sword to fight you, knowing that you were the one that saved him before. To add to the feels, when you do enough damage, his attacks get slower and he limps. Duck. Undertale. There could be the greatest Easter egg of all time hiding behind the option to refuse to comfort Asriel. I'll never know, because it'll never happen. That's what most people forget in games and game design today. It's not about completionisting them to 110%. It's about being invested and into the experience the game is supposed to give you. Too many modern games are designed for the player sitting in a chair. The best games take you far beyond that and into their world and experience. Unfortunately, no one seems to care about the latter with most games these days. Borderlands 2 when Jack kills Bloodwing and Mordecai goes on a rage-fueled rampage obliterating everything in sight. After playing Borderlands 1 before 2 it really adds to the emotion because you spent so much time with Roland and the rest of the OG team. Agreed. I think the Borderlands series has the best character development of any game I've ever played. Spec Ops, The Line. The white phosphorus guilt never leaves you. Do you feel like a hero yet? This is all your fault. Ducking like and subscribe.